birthday gift should convert it to cash and send it to a designated account, which would then be used to help, upgrade or something about the National Library. So the reaction at the time, right, was almost similar, like, what the hell is going on? National Library of Nigeria annually receive budgetary allocation. So why is that? So the reactions was like around the time. So our birthday came yesterday, I think. And Kolu, no, was it yesterday? Yeah. Kolu now posted, or should I say those handling Kolu's media, now posted an happy birthday message for the Vex lady, his wife. And the opening was to say, Rat is the mother of the nation. While many people were like already taking that up with a call on social media that she is not their mom, she can never be, and all of that. While others, especially the Ronu were greeting her happy birthday and all that. So the real reactions were being curated until Peter Obi decided to say happy birthday to Rat. And he did greet her happy birthday, right? But the starting of the message got everybody talking. It was like, what kind of birthday message is this? It all started with, we are finished. That's the headline. Nigeria is finished. And why? See, this message of Obi has triggered a lot of reactions, especially from the Presidiocy of Nigeria, the ones that have always been more or less like obsessed with Obi. Okay, so to them, Obi needs help now. For him to have used the Vex lady's birthday to remind everybody the state of Nigeria, that requires help. That is what Onofunuga said. But what is the message? Here we go. Obi tweeted this with, we are finished. I join millions of Nigerians in wishing excellency or something. Remiti Fnumbu, which is abbreviated as a rat, all right? A happy birthday, a God Almighty who has been with her all these years, blah, blah, blah. So just one paragraph. Then Obi went on. Probably that was the moment Obi, first time he probably saw that the First Lady is fundraising for the National Library of Nigeria. So his reaction, second paragraph. However, I was struck by irony reading a request that instead of cakes or newspaper adverts, well-wishers should donate toward completing the National Library in Abuja. On the surface, it is noble and selfless, but beneath it lies an indictment of our nation. I recall that as governor of Anambra State, I too urged that money meant for adverts be channeled to meaningful causes, computers for schools and classroom blocks. Such gestures were never meant to replace the government's duty, but to complement it. The state still bore the responsibility of providing those essentials. That is why it is shocking that in our present circumstances, while billions are easily found for jets, yachts, unused mansions, endless trips abroad, and other frivolities, the nation must rely on birthday donations to complete its own national library. Complete. What kind of country must beg for charity to build the very temple of knowledge? What kind of leaders waste trillions on luxury and vanity while the National Library, our intellectual furnace, remains abandoned in the capital. Serious nations treat libraries as sacred, but here we reduce them to afterthought, begging bowls, or birthday tokens. Mrs. Tifnumbu was right. Education is the most enduring legacy a nation can give its people. Yet to know this truth and still Yet to know this truth and still prioritize vanity is both shocking and tragic. If Nigeria will rise, it will not be on the wings of jets or the splendor of mansions, but on the strength of minds formed in classrooms and nourished in libraries. Until then, the lament remains true. We are finished. That was Obi. And that threw the Ronukus and the closet Ronukus into a spiral. Because to them, right, as some, remember, some people were dragging themselves if Remy was mother of Nigeria or Remy is not mother of Nigeria, right? But the moment to be dropped, majority of them just left themselves. Everybody now had opinion about why should it be like that. What do you mean by Nigeria is finished? Like, are you being kind of like serious? Like, do you need any other explanation for you to understand a country that is finished, that is just like floating, existing by floating? Eh? Anyway, maybe, okay, somebody even said that Obi Kilagbe Kiloju, but it didn't say anything wrong. It just called your attention to what your contraption has become. Something that some people agreed. A lot of people actually agreed, but they will disagree if the person that is saying it is a different person, probably a person that they don't like, sort of. But the truth will remain, so to say, a finished country that is spending trillions on taking care of public officials and borrowing trillions that is also looted by the same politicians they are spending trillions on. And the cycle continues, and the people are left with barest minimum or almost nothing. So you watch them tell you, see, they told you that, and I think a lot of you agreed to some extent, even though you don't like Tiff number, by the way, right? But you would agree, or you pretended to agree, or you gullibly agreed, or you ignorantly agreed, but you shall agree, to some extent, that they needed to remove subsidy because Tifnumbu and his gang told you, right, that Nigeria cannot be sustained with the subsidy. You agreed, oh, yeah, it should have been good. So a lot felt like maybe it's a sacrifice. They said, oh, the money for subsidy will be reinvested in power, reinvested in roads, reinvested here and there in order to cushion the effect. So in the long run, right, the removal of subsidy will be for positive. Then you see nothing. You watched them, right, fritter away what could have been your scarce resources. Resources were no deal, scarce, but you watch them blew it all up. And right now, they are asking you that, for Nigeria to have fiscal balance, and all those funny names or funny sort of titles they give their policies, right? So for Nigeria to have a stable, blah, 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 Nigeria needs Tinubu said tax reform because it will free more money, more people will pay more taxes, there will be more money, and they are trying to convince you that it is also in your interest. And they expect you to believe, and yeah, believe them. Like you are powerless, there's nothing you can do. So you are watching these guys tell you what they want you to do. They say, do what we say, not what we do. but you can't question them, because they are spending so much, right, on what do we call them? The propaganda base. They are propaganda base. They are spending so much to come and convince you that no matter what you think you are facing in the contraption, so to say, yeah, it could have been worse if not for Tinubu. So be grateful, appreciate it. You know that Nigeria foreign reserve has increased. Local government gets more money now. State get more. Go and meet your governors. Go and meet your local government areas. But nevertheless, right, just remember that their renewed shege is going to pay off later. They are paying people to tell you that your pain is not really that painful. You are just overreacting. You are allowing opposition to take advantage of your hunger, everything, they are paying people to do that to you. Remy Werekwe probably, raised billions, right? Raised billions for the completion of the National Library of Nigeria, National Library. The National Library of Nigeria got a budget to, listen to this, so they got a budget, and I'll start from 2020. National Library of Nigeria got a budget in 2020. They got a budget of about 800 million naira. In 2021, they got something around 700 and something million, right? In between 7 and 800. In 2022, National Library of Nigeria got 1.7 billion naira. The same renovation now new. In 2023, under Tifnumbu, right now, 2023, 2024, 2025, Tifnumbu is currently using 3 different budgets right now that they've not closed. You start your budget from December to next December. Sorry, January to December, sort of. Yeah. But Tifnumbu and his gang, they came in 2023. Okuwari already had a 2023 budget that they signed in effect. So when Tifnumbu came, they asked for supplementary budget. So he got supplementary budget of about 8 trillion naira, right? For the rest of the year. And then they took other loans, but that's not the point, right? So that's 2023 budget. They were supposed to close it at the end of 2023, right? Tifnumbu and his gang, and what's his name again? Akwabioli and others, they decided to give an extension to 2023 budget, right? Until June 2024. Then they submitted 2024 budget. Remember, they have supplementary budget too, that they also said extended to June 2024. Then they submitted 2024 budget, right? Got 2024 budget. And when they got to June 2024, they extended the 2023 budget again to the end of the year. And they have been extending it up till now, about 4 different budgets. And they have kept for the first time, they say for the first time in 20 years, Nigeria has failed, or Nigerian government has failed to publish their budget performance, like their budget details. So everybody will know how much money they got from where and how much money they spent on where, which used to be the case. Since Tifnumbu and his gang came, they've shut it down. They are saying that they were not ready. No, they are not ready. They are still working on it. Because the same way they ran Lagos is what they are replicating in Abuja. You will see a never seen before financial, financial extortion and financial profligacies, they call it, that you've never seen before. And at the same time, they will maintain the never seen before level of secrecy, except if they meet those who always kind of like get all those documents out eventually. But apart from that, freedom of information, freedom of something to ask Tifnumbu and his gang to tell you what they are doing, you will never get it. Except one singular official media where they will cook, doctor data, doctor start and everything and release them out and push propaganda on them. And you'll be asking, how come these things we're not feeling it? Say, well, you'll feel it later in Tifnumbunomic. So Remy and her husband are using the office of the president in Nigeria right, to personally enrich themselves. And don't fall for that lie, that they are rich, they don't need your money. You'll be so stupid to believe that, at least with what you have seen so far. So we will never know how much Remy raised for, because like now I don't even have okay, I think I have the figure for the one for 2024. Yeah, that was like about 2.1, 2.2 billion, National Library, Abuja. Okay. 2025. Right now, all those budgets are active on that Ifnumbu. So Remy want to tell us that he's so concerned about education, right? She had to save the National Library of Nigeria that has gobbled over 4 billion naira in the last 5 years, at least. You get that now? So Obi reacting to say, we are finished. It just be like, it sound like an exaggeration and all that. Yeah. But it's not far-fetched. It's not like far from it. Yeah. Anyway, let me show you something else. Okay. So their oppositions, right? They are currently, they still talks, because that's the problem. They talk. Actions. So the oppositions in Nigeria are pushing for something ahead of their 2027 charade. What's that? They want Tinubu to be stripped of the power to nominate the INEC chair. Okay. Yeah, for some reasons, they said it is unethical. It is actually really wrong. Like, why did the crafters of your Decree 24, which is the military, why did the crafters of your fake constitution give that power to a sitting president who is also going to be participating in that same election? So it doesn't make any sense. So they want Akpabioli and his gang to strip Tinubu of that, because they believe that that singular power of choosing who becomes the INEC chair, and every other thing that goes on behind the scene, enough to let you know that you shouldn't be going into an election with Tifnumbu in that regard. While others are like, so why now? I have more from that. But listen to Bugaje. You should know him. It's a PDP stalwart, I think. Listen.
There are two questions, and I have a third issue that I think, Ruben, you need to address. But let me start with the questions you have raised. I think first, the issue of INEC. I think everybody is fairly aware that INEC, as presently constituted, has lost a lot of credibility. And it is very important that the institution gains this credibility. Otherwise, the stability of the country is going to be threatened, because when you have institutions that are not delivering, and especially a key institution like INEC, and if this failure continues, then it will erode not only, confidence in INEC, but confidence in democracy itself. And when that happens, you know the consequences. So let me come back to INEC. I think there are amendments that the whole country is waiting for. For example, that amendment, which I think late President Buhari refused to give assent to, which mandates INEC to use electronic electronic tools and to use technology in delivering the result, is still pending. But more importantly, why should the president, whoever is the president of the country, who is an interested party in the election, be the one to propose the head of INEC? I think late Uwais committee has made very good recommendations, which have been blocked by those who are interested in manipulating INEC. I think we have to rescue INEC by making sure that the head of INEC is not appointed by a sitting president who is going to be interested in election.